Good evening, thanks for your company. Former post office workers in our region who were wrongly convicted for theft in the Horizon scandal say they're still waiting for compensation. The failure of the post office's computer system resulted in one of the biggest single miscarriages of justice in British history. Hundreds of people running post offices were accused of being responsible for shortfalls in the cash they collected from customers. Some went to prison. The government announced this week that it will foot the bill for compensation, which could run into hundreds of millions of pounds of taxpayers' cash. To date, a total of 72 convictions have been overturned by the courts in unopposed appeals. Hundreds more could follow. Mark Ansell has spoken to two former post office workers who say compensation isn't enough.
Compensation is not a problem, but don't forget you have destroyed our lives. You know, don't just think paying the money out is going to be enough.
Former postmaster Harjinder Batoy from Chesterfield spent 18 months in prison for a crime he did not commit. He was wrongly convicted of theft due to a faulty computer system called Horizon. It took Harjinder 14 years to have his conviction quashed. He says justice for him is not about compensation, but seeing those responsible for the Horizon scandal themselves locked up.
Money's not going to cover everything. I mean, it doesn't cover the time you spent in prison and everything like that. You know, still, all these 14 years, I've been in prison for 18 months, but it feels like I've been in prison for 14 years because I've had to clear my name. I've been fighting for it for so long. They sent us to prison, didn't listen to us. Somebody on the other side needs to be charged for this and sent down.
Former postmistress Alison Hall from Liversedge will also be compensated by the government. She was innocent but agreed to plead guilty to false accounting, so a theft charge would be dropped, and was sentenced to community service. Alison has a message for the post office.
Take responsibility for what you've done to us all and put your hands up and come forward and, you know, make a proper apology and do the right thing. We fighted all this way so that it's their turn now. They should be in court now and they should tell us what happened.
Neither the post office nor the government put anyone up for interview on this story. But in a statement, the post office said, whilst we cannot change the past, it is right that meaningful compensation is provided to victims of the Horizon scandal as fast as possible. Meanwhile, the government said in a statement, we have set up a statutory inquiry to set out exactly what went wrong and to ensure that something like this never happens again. The former postmasters now want justice, to see the post office held to account for the UK's most widespread miscarriage of justice. Mark Ansell, BBC Look North.